What's up,
gentlemen?
Doug?
It's been a long time.
We had a summer break. This is
forever.
like coming back from summer break, going to uni, sophomore year,
Nice.
Kanye style.
Wait, is this our junior year? Is this our third season? No, well, second season,
Part
second
two.
half of the year.
We flunked season
Oof.
2, so we had to start over.
That was rough.
Yeah.
I think we
Would have
made
found
it
Wilder.
Yeah.
What did you guys get up to this summer? Anything fun?
A little travel, a little work.
Yeah.
Got to, I can't remember when our last episode was compared to everything else, but
It was in May.
oh, really? Okay. So we did since then I did a cruise and went to Bermuda, hung out there. That was fun. Went to Halifax, did Ireland with Enterprise Ireland. So Amy and I both went out there, which was that was great.
Yeah.
Actually got a meeting with some of the Enterprise Ireland people right after, well, some of the companies associated with them right after the show.
In Richmond?
No, digital meeting.
Oh, virtual. Yeah, I forgot those still happen. They're so boring, aren't they? Like this.
Well, yeah, this is rough. Everybody should just turn it off now.
Dylan, I drove over the James River this summer. Twice.
I know, and passed me 2 ways, and then there was like, "Hey, Dylan, want to hang out?"
Didn't have time. But you know what I'm going to do?
What's that?
Next week, I might come down to Charleston and hang out with you.
Whoa. All right.
What do you think about that?
I still need a book. That's like literally 6 days away. Oops.
Really? Well, Chris is telling me that you're going. He's trying to egg me to go by showing me that you're going. I'm going to have to go back and be like, Dylan's not even booked yet, man.
Yeah, because I'm a bum, not because of I'm not going. I'll be there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Peter, you want to come to Charleston, South Carolina? I'm trying to get Bond to come.
It would be good, but no.
All right, whatever.
Enough
That
trips.
wasn't hard. That was like really quick, Peter. Really fast.
Anyway,
across
the real question? The real question is, what has Doug been up to this summer? Because
Oh my God.
Dylan and
so
I
much
have been
stuff, guys.
talking,
So much
but
stuff.
Doug has been a hard man to track down for a few months. So,
Well, there's a
have you
lot
been
of
up to?
things I want to talk about, but I'm not allowed to on this show, apparently.
Right.
Dylan says.
or any show.
So next time I'll give the full download. But doing some secret shopping, learning about some new insurance companies that are coming to market.
You went to a World Cup
trying
game
to-
as well.
Trying to have
Went
the
to a World
industry
Cup
just
game,
behave
right?
a bit. What?
On lighter news for the intro of the show, you went to a World Cup game. Right?
Oh yeah, I did go to a World Cup game. Netherlands really shit the bed.
Try not to get into litigation in our first 2 minutes.
No, I said I was going to behave this one. Because we have
And then
a
start going into it.
special guest on.
Steer the conversation a little.
Well done, Peter. You're a better host
I
than
was saying all the things that I can't talk about. That's fine.
Right.
The point.
No, the World Cup game was amazing. The Netherlands didn't do very well after the fact. England did quite well, Peter.
Yeah, take
Yeah,
it.
you guys look
Yeah.
nice. Really good.
Lost to
Dylan,
Argentina.
US, sorry about all of that.
Look, hey, we hosted a great show. It was a great tournament. I will tell you, I was in New York during a lot of the games and even went to a couple of viewing parties, had an absolute blast. And I think the level of camaraderie between nations, what I experienced was fantastic. I mean, everyone was having a great time. I met a bunch of Irishmen, a bunch of Scotsmen. I went to one of the Korea viewing parties with quite a few people, but including a lot of Koreans, and had a blast. And everyone just seemed like they were in such great spirit. So it's nice to see that and to host such a fun tournament.
World peace.
There it is. We
Brought
solved
by
it.
football.
Yeah.
Speaking of events hosted in really good cities, guys,
Ooh.
what do you think about that segue?
Oh, I like it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Depends where you're going.
Yeah, we're in a good direction, Peter. We have
Just call
a very-
Toasty Doug. That's what's happening right now.
I can't even get my intro. I've been working on this.
I
is
love
great.
your segue. I love your segue.
I've been working
Go
on
for
it all summer,
That's it.
and I kept getting interrupted.
Go for it.
All right, let me start over. Speaking of events hosted in really good cities,
Excellent. Let's see what
guys,
I'm assuming Las Vegas is the
in Vegas,
the city.
in Vegas, the premier event, the people that run it, we have secured, Dylan secured a guest on the show today from InsureTech Connect.
Boom.
Right? What do you guys think about that?
I love it.
It's exciting.
I love it.
This is Patti is with us. She's gonna come on. She's smiling. She's having a good time. You guys, I forget you guys can't see her, can you? I can see.
No, we
the
can't.
back
No,
page.
she's in the green room.
For some
she's
reason, you have
laughing.
admin control.
She's actually saying you guys can say whatever you want on this podcast.
I know she's not saying.
Sure.
What are we doing wrong? She's
Let's
ready to
close
get
it.
involved, and that way I can stop getting in trouble. So, guys, let's welcome Patti Harman to the show here. Hey, Patti.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Hi, Betty.
I'm doing great. It's a little funny to be on the other side. I've hosted podcasts for probably like the last couple of years, we'll say. And so it's a little bit different to be a guest on somebody else's. So thanks for having me.
Well, yeah, you're in for a real
Absolutely.
disappointment given you're a professional. So just
Yeah,
be
we're not
prepared.
good. That's the difference between all these parties here, right? We're terrible at podcasting.
Yeah.
You're great at it. So
We should have done this on a Monday when you had the whole week to recover, because we are just about to set your weekend back. You're just be thinking about like, what the hell? Like, what bet did I lose at ITC to have to like go on?
why
with these
did Bill Harris send me that stupid email and
Yeah.
have me on this terrible show? Yeah.
Yeah.
We get it. We get it.
Ask for a raise, bonus, whatever, Patti. Like you should walk away with a lot of ammo here against your organization.
I
Because
am
Bill knew
such
he
an
knows
insurance
us.
nerd. I love talking about insurance and what's going on in this industry. So
nice.
this
Well,
is
we-
like one of my favorite things to do.
Nice. We'll
right.
talk a lot of insurance and we'll be nice about it. But first, 'cause I want to get into ITC stuff. Patti, we haven't met before. So
No.
when we have a new guest on that I don't know, I like to just hear their backstory. And especially knowing that you do some podcasts now, I'd love to learn a little bit about that, maybe pick up some pointers. But yeah, maybe just give us your background and how you got involved at ITC as well.
So my background is I've been covering both the insurance and the disaster restoration industries for about the past 30 years. I've been a senior editor in the industry. I was at propertycasualty360.com. I was the editor-in-chief of Claims Magazine. I went from there to digital insurance. I also spent 20 years covering the disaster restoration industry. So I have this huge background on the P&C side. When I started covering insurance more, I had to learn about auto, workers' comp, health insurance, all of those different areas. But you would be amazed at what a crossover there is for all of these different areas. So that's what I've been doing. And then I also, when I worked for the restoration industry, and I still am a little bit involved in creating industry standards. But I love talking about insurance. And I remember I was talking to somebody and they're like, oh, you must be really new. And I was like, no, I've been doing this for 15 years. And they couldn't believe how fascinating this industry was. And that's the lens that I see it through, is that it's always changing, and especially in the technology space. And I know that has not been the reputation of the insurance industry for a long time, but I think COVID changed all of that. And when you look at where we were to where we are now, it's enough to make anybody's head spin, I think. So I've only been with ITC Vegas for about 4 months. So let's just say I jumped into the deep end because I started right as we were programming the entire event. And to kind of give you an idea, the scope of this, we received about 650 submissions for people to speak, for sessions, all of that sort of thing. I went through all of those and I had a lot of choices, and we have phenomenal sessions this year. When I look at it, my whole thing is I want to create that fear of missing out. Like people think, oh, it's just 2 days. No, it's not. It's 3 full days of education. And if you're not there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you will definitely miss something, because as you guys will hear as we go on, we have just some amazing things that we've planned for this year.
I would even say Monday. Like Monday, I actually
good
show up
Monday
on
through
Sunday
Friday.
right now just to make sure I'm
Yeah.
all around for
Oh, yeah.
Monday.
Well, yeah, you want to come in Monday because we have
Yeah.
the golf tournament on Monday, and we have Haggerty Insurance that is bringing in several classic cars that will be at the golf tour. So it's all about creating this experience and giving people the opportunity to learn, see, and and do things they haven't done before, meet new people, all of that. So yeah.
So Patty, Dylan submitted a session that I thought was ridiculous, and I said this will never get through. He was adamant that it would. Thank you, by the way, for turning his submission down, because it was going to be embarrassing for him. So you really helped us out there. So what's it like? I'm curious on. I mean, I want you to be positive about the ones that
Right.
that did make it through. What's the range of submissions like? I'm sure that's an interesting job, seeing what people are thinking, what they want to advocate for. You probably have kind of like your finger on the pulse of maybe things that maybe they didn't make it through this year, but you're like, I want to watch and track that and see what
Yes,
happens to that next year.
totally. Because I already started my 2027 file, and it's like, you know what? We're going to pay a little bit more attention to this. So there are a number of things, and it's interesting because as you start reading them, people think, oh, nobody's doing this. And it's like, well, actually, that's the fifth one I've seen related to this topic. It's not quite as innovative as you think. And what a lot of people don't realize is that we're looking for thought leadership. Yes, product pitches are great, and we have places within ITC Vegas for that. But a lot of this is about, what do people need to know? What are the pain points? How are they going to solve that? What's on the horizon that nobody's watching and that they need to be aware of? And that's one of the things that we're trying to do. Like, as we all know, AI has permeated every aspect of our lives, everything that we're doing. And in the insurance space, it has permeated it as well. And while we have an AI summit, we have an AI in action stage. AI will touch every area of insurance. So no matter where you go throughout ITC Vegas, you're going to be able to learn how to use it, what to watch for. That maybe all of that data that you've had for the last 40 years isn't quite as ready to be dumped into AI as you think. It's like we're trying to educate them and let them see the possibilities, because that's a huge area for me. And so when I was going through the sessions, I looked for things that were a little bit different. Like, we have one session, and this is something that a lot of people don't think about. If you have customers who have reading disabilities, sight disabilities, have a different primary language, that sort of thing, you still need to be able to make sure that they can read their policies, that they can understand them. So we have a session where somebody's going to be walking through, these are some of the things to look for. And it's not just meeting like legislative regulations. This is like 30% of the population. That's a lot of people. So we're trying to do things like that. I was really excited. You've attended ITC Vegas the last couple of years, or, for a while. I remember the first time I went, I was like, where are all the women? Like, there are a lot of men who speak on our stages. So if you come this year, there are a lot more women executives who are speaking at ITC Vegas. I have one panel in our cyber summit that is 4 women executives from within the industry, I was like so excited when that came through. We're just trying to make people see things in a different way. And so that's, when I was looking at the sessions, I wanted real thought leadership. And we have some phenomenal people coming to speak. The number of executives, and I'm talking CEOs, both from major carriers and major InsureTechs. When I look at that list, it is just amazing to me, the level of the individuals who are presenting this year.
Amazing.
I bet some of those people have been on this show.
Yes,
Yeah,
they have.
Patti, great to meet you. I'm Peter, also for some reason, part of this group with Dylan and Doug. I wanted to pick your brain on the topic you said there. You mentioned that there's not a lot of women traditionally who've been speaking at these events, and you're trying to push to change that. Why do you think that is historically in the world of insurance?
because it's been primarily a male-dominated industry. However, women hold like 53% of the positions within the insurance industry, but at the senior executive level, that number has hovered around 12 to 13%. It's getting better. And that is one of the areas that I have really, in my entire career, that I've really focused on. I used to be the lead of the Women in Insurance Leadership Program when I was at Horizon in digital insurance. And there are some really phenomenal women. And I just feel like it's important to give them the stage and the opportunity to be seen and heard, because they are driving many of the initiatives that are coming to fruition now, and people just aren't aware of that in the industry. So I'm just trying to change that a little. I always have told my kids, when you're put into a position, and I wouldn't call it a position of power, but a position where you can make a difference, use that power for good and really do that. So that's what I'm trying to do here, is make sure that the different areas within the insurance industry that we don't normally focus on or hear about, that they have a much broader stage, because we can learn from everybody. It's like when you're in a mentoring relationship, everybody thinks, oh, the mentor knows everything. That's not it at all. Whoever you're mentoring, it's very much a two-way street. And so that's my approach with all of this.
I love that. Yeah. We've thinking like the Flora crew that we've had on. I'm excited seeing some of the, I guess, either female founders or just less represented founders, like starting to get involved in the insurance space. And it definitely is picking up. I agree. It has been a male-dominated industry. We've been talking about getting rid of Dylan for a long time and replacing him with a woman. But
you want John Petty? Yeah, I was going to say,
later on.
I've been trying to ditch Doug for years. I can't get rid of him. And actually, that's an interesting story there. So Doug, when he was building his MGA, was contacting me when I was working at James River Insurance Company in Falls Lake. He was at that point looking for some fronting, and that's how we originally met. And that was meeting, digitally at that point. Fast forward a year and a half or so, and now I am at ITC Vegas, and I get a text message from him saying, "Hey, we're going to meet up." I show up to a restaurant, I can't remember which one, but we show up, and him and his co-founder are there with a bunch of other folks who are regular ITC regulars. Candace, we had Mark Roth there.
Roth, yeah,
good friends of the show. And so I didn't realize that I was walking into my own job interview, and within a month of that or so, we had decided, or I had decided that I was definitely going to join them, and actually joined that MGA. So ITC was certainly a big part of that.
ITC is where jobs happen, deals get done. You obviously meet people for the first time as well. I mean, insurance is so relationship driven. I mean, you talk about having the golf tournament right on Monday. I'm doing a poker tournament Monday night. It's a very cool VC versus startup poker tournament. All of the different events after hours, right, that take place. Obviously, all the networking opportunities. But yeah, you go see your friends, you go meet new people, you really solidify all the relationships that you have. You do move things forward, and it's so hyper focused, right? It's like a 3-day, like Friday and Saturday, Sunday, usually the next week, I'm decompressing, trying to follow up, but really just, recovering, trying to synthesize everything that's taken place. So there's so much that takes place.
Yeah, no, you just can't do that for a week. The follow-ups, I always do my follow-ups solidly a week later, because I need 2 days of absolute quiet and maybe catching up on some sleep, because it is a full all-day event every single day, and that's Monday through Friday. I mean, it is incredible how many friends. I can't walk 40 feet without seeing another person I know, and half those people, though, I've met in previous times at ITC. So is amazing, but the one downside I will say about ITC is that you will be exhausted afterwards because it is such an active event.
Definitely wear your walking shoes. Tennis shoes are kind of like a required wardrobe.
Yeah.
I actually just hop on Doug's back. He takes me around everywhere.
But people underestimate the importance of the relationships, because when I look at who I know now, and yes, I've been in the industry for a while, those relationships were formed. Some of them were formed years ago. Some of them were just formed within the last couple of months. And think about how we do our lives. Even now, we're doing this virtually. Starting with the pandemic, a lot of things happened. And now, yes, I'm going to events and I'm seeing people, but a lot of my relationships are created virtually this way too. And it's been interesting because as I'm meeting with different speakers and I'm telling them, this is what I want you to focus on for your session, their next question is, well, I get to meet you at ITC Vegas. And so we've launched an app that will make life a whole lot easier for people so that you can connect, select which sessions you want to go to, set up meetings, all of those sorts of things. And what the app does is it takes this enormous event and makes it very manageable. So yes, you might have, and I remember, I think I probably did like 24 meetings at least over a 3-day period. And that didn't even include the evening events and the other outside activities. But it makes it become a little bit more manageable. And you're trying to see as many people as possible. And with the way that we've set up ITC Vegas, that's what we're trying to drive, are those conversations, the conversations between the InsureTech startups and the funding companies, the conversations between the InsureTechs and the carriers, conversations between agents and brokers and all of these different vendors and carriers, because none of us gets to operate in a silo by ourselves. There's just so much that requires us to interact with other people. And so that's what we're trying to drive at ITC Vegas this year. And that's one of the things that really excites me, because I'll look at how I've programmed things like the Haggerty piece. They were one of the first sessions that I accepted. And my thought was, it'd be so cool if they could bring a couple of cars, because I was familiar with what they did. And that part worked out. And it's trying to make it so people will just stand around after a session ends and continue the conversation. What else can I learn? Who else can I meet? Who do you know? Because that's the other thing, is introducing people. And the good thing is we all have name tags on, so we don't have to necessarily remember, and who everybody is. And I feel bad sometimes. It's like, I know who they are, and I still have to look at the name tags, because at this point, the number of people I know in the industry is rather vast.
Yeah. So. I'm right there with you. Name tags are necessary. But, and then you just brought up Haggerty again. I love that company. What a really interesting company they are. A very cool structure. They've got MGA component to it, and then also a carrier reinsurance component to it. And just such a neat subject, a niche they really just dug into that is fun, which is kind of like a lot of the idea of our show is to talk about companies like this and the ones that are up and coming and building their process to get there to become a big company. And Haggerty's certainly that success story where they said, hey, I'm building into this niche and really hitting this hard, and we love that. And so that's like the success story at the end of a lot of what we present.
Yeah, we have some. Oh, were you going to say something, Doug?
No, go on.
I was going to say we have some really cool presentations coming from our main stage. We have Damon John from Shark Tank is going to be there. So, for companies that want to know, how do I get started, or how do I get funding? That'll be great. We have Alex Hanel, the free climber, is talking about risk preparation, because think about it. If you're going to launch anything or have any type of a business, risk preparation is a really big deal. And we also have, from the main stage, we're going to be taking a look at the legal risks that using AI is generating. I don't know if you guys have talked about this. There's a new report that's coming out. We're going to release that information. We have some of the insurers that were involved with that report. And I think it's going to be really eye-opening because it's sort of like, every time there's a new technology, we see all of the possibilities that are associated with it. But sometimes we have to step back a little bit and say, okay, what could be the downside of that? It reminds me of like with cybersecurity, when carriers were trying to get their arms around that and figure out, how do we price this? What are the risks associated with it? I remember doing an interview with somebody and I said, so basically cyber is like a long-term environmental risk. It's a long tail claim because the intrusion happens here. But once you figure out what all the total impact is, I said, that can be months or, a year or more. And I remember the person looking at me going, oh yeah, I hadn't thought of it in those terms. So there are a lot of different ways to approach any type of new product or new possibilities. And AI definitely has a lot of opportunities that come with it. So we're just trying to make sure everybody has the full picture, so to speak.
That is the interesting thing with AI is like every industry is obviously talking about this, the corollary to the manufacturing ITC, consumer good ITC, they're all talking about AI. We're probably the only conference in industry talking about the risk ramifications of AI, at least to the degree of like, what does it cost us as companies that are trying to cover, now this is an E&O claim. How do we exclude it? Just like you said, just like we were doing with cyber a decade ago. So it is very interesting. And we have some friends of the show that are popping up with new, trying to take advantage of those likely coming carve outs from policies. And how do you protect against those with, again, niche products that kind of pop up and fill those spaces?
Yeah, like parametric insurance is a great example of a product that emerged because there were coverage vulnerabilities and there were things, there were just areas that needed additional coverage or maybe, immediate coverage, that type of thing. So that's why we're trying to make sure that we're highlighting all of these different types of both coverage and the opportunities associated with them.
Yeah. Patti, we haven't really talked. I mean, you've mentioned startups, several times, and obviously that's a big part of ITC coming and being able to meet partners, customers. Peter had mentioned, finding an investor at ITC. Maybe we can talk a little bit about all the content and opportunities, really, I think of more that you put together to help startups meet those potential investors. And not just investors, the institutional ones, but the strategic ones as well, which I think is even more interesting because they can become customers and supporters and probably give you viewpoints into the industry that you otherwise wouldn't have.
Yeah, maybe I can give you a bit of context of that before you get into the answer. So, in my role as running Loro in the 5 years or so we've been doing that, we've been to ITC every single year. And to Doug's point, ITC attendance has been fundamental in our success to this point, right? We met our first venture capital investor there, the partnership, and was formed because we got talking and we met in person. We met one of our biggest customers there at the event as well. So it's something that I think if you haven't been and you're new to the industry, you'll get quite maybe intimidated and blown away by the size and scale of it. But the real magic can happen in a conversation in a queue while you're waiting for the lunch or while you're waiting for a coffee. You don't have to go there with a huge plan for the first year. Just go there, be open and listen.
That is so true. And one of the things that we're doing so we have 7 different summits focused on a wide range of topics: claims, underwriting, commercial and specialty, health, cyber. And our Capacity Connect summit is taking place on Wednesday. And that is the opportunity for a lot of these companies, the MGAs, the funders, the the startups and InsureTechs, to have those conversations. Because within that summit, I want to say, when I was talking to our marketing team about all of these different opportunities, I said it's almost like this is how you find your tribe. This is how you find the people who are like-minded, who are looking for similar things, who are facing the same kind of questions, risks, challenges, all of that. And so from that perspective, that's what our Capacity Connect is doing. It's bringing all of those different parts and pieces together into one room for a full day. So you have that opportunity to meet people, ask questions, talk to them over lunch, all of those sorts of things. And it's the same thing with cyber, because depending on who you are in the industry and what you're focusing on, you can literally find your tribe at ITC Vegas. I don't know how else to say it, but that was one of the things that we were thinking about as we were programming all of this. Is we want it, one, to be welcoming, but we want it to be educational, and it's everything from people who are starting out to companies that have been running for a while and are at a totally different level in terms of the challenges that they're facing and the issues that they need to focus on at this point. Because once you're beyond a startup and you're to 200 or 300 employees, it's a totally different ball game, and you're dealing with different factors. So we're trying to make this so it's a gradual opportunity, but no matter who you are and what your focus is, you should be able to find information and people who are going to be willing to share with you and talk about what they're doing.
That's awesome. So I guess for people, we probably should talk about this, right? What sponsors can do at this point. We're getting close to ITC Vegas at this point. We're at the mid to late August right now. So, I mean, countdown, it's happening for, so soon, so incredibly soon. I was looking at my Delta app and I was like, oh my God, there's just no time between now and Vegas. I can't believe it.
It's
so
2 weeks earlier this year. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm glad we're not all the way back at Halloween. That was, though I will say it was very entertaining seeing the crazy costumes and everything that Vegas has for Halloween, but I'm glad so that all the family people can see their kids for Halloween. So this is definitely a better time, but it is amazing how it's coming upon us. So what can we do as far as registration? Companies that, that watch our show, whether it's individuals or companies, can they still get us a booth? Can they still sponsor something? How can they get involved? I guess let's start there.
You should probably go to our ITC Vegas website, which is vegas.insuretech.com. But there are still some opportunities. I will say they're a little bit more limited at this point in time. Definitely people should register. That's like the biggest thing, because if you register for the conference, it gives you access to our app. And only people who are registered can see who else is coming. So as you're planning out your 3 days there, or 4 days if you come in for the golf tournament, that is going to be the best way to kind of figure out what you're doing. So definitely we have space for registration. Sponsors, there are a few things left. I will tell you the pickings are getting a little bit slim at this point in time. All of the sessions and the speakers are pretty much set. Like every time I open my email, it's like somebody says, oh, could I speak? And they're like still submitting stuff to me. And it's like, no, we finished that back in May kind of thing. So we're all of those pieces. Yeah, it's like a moving mosaic is the way I refer to our content. So a few things are changing, but for the most part, that is all set. But for sponsorships, there are still opportunities to sponsor a few things. Erica Queen on our team is the person who's kind of in charge of all of that. So you can definitely.
Right, so let's talk about the time frame for people as well.
Okay.
Because that's an important thing to note. They come this year, they see how massive it is. And what's the number ish this year? Like 9,200?
We have between we usually have between like 9,500 people there. Yeah. We have 300 education sessions. We have over 500 speakers. So it's a lot to consider. We have an amazing team. When I started here, we have a team, we all work on this event. So it's like 30 of us that work on this event year round. So actually we're already starting to plan for 2027. So as soon as one finishes, we go right into the next, which was totally boggled my mind. But ITC Vegas is the largest event in the insurance industry, a technology event in the insurance industry. So that's really amazing. Where our parent company is Clarion Events, and I will have people from InsureTech UK, InsureTech Canada, InsureTech Israel. So we do have an international audience as well. So we have people coming in from around the globe, which is just really incredible as well.
Sounds great. So if we're planning for next year already, when should individuals start getting involved with you all and having conversations for the 27 edition?
We'll be having those conversations at ITC Vegas, literally. We'll be looking at that. We're going to probably start our call for papers sometime later on this fall. So anybody who wants to submit a session, that'll be coming up within the next couple of months.
All right, so
I can't
so essentially, you guys are like the North Pole. You're just always operating on the next ITC or next Christmas. All right, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So
I've been told it slows down a little bit in like January, February, and March, but that's one of the things when you do something that you love. It really isn't like work. And I have been very fortunate my entire career. I've always loved where I worked and who I worked with, and was always, one of the biggest cheerleaders for the company, because if you don't, who wants to work with somebody who looks very glum and unhappy and grouchy?
Yeah, no.
That's why you tell me every time.
One of my favorite restaurants has a sign that says, if you come in and you're grouchy, we're going to charge you 10% more. And I just laugh every time I see that, because it's like, you're coming in to buy food. How can you be unhappy about that? You don't have to cook dinner, you have to order whatever you want. What's bad about that?
Well, also, you're probably just extra precautious because you don't want to get that charge. You're like, hey, just to be clear, I'm smiling right now. I'm very happy to be here. Don't lump me in with those other grumps over there.
I do enjoy that restaurant in the Vegas hotel where they're quite nasty to you, though, as well. I quite like that, where they're not very friendly.
Intentionally angry.
Yeah.
So, speaking of restaurants, one thing that I think is fascinating is that over the years, as ITC has grown, and I think I've been to all but two, and that includes 2020 being a year where I'm just like, I didn't want to do the digital thing. The whole point is the people, right? And actually being face-to-face with everybody. So I didn't really participate that year. But I think it's two. And remember, Caribou Honig, one of the founders, was here in Richmond for years and years. He's moved out of state, but so is a good friend. And so very early was getting to these. But over the years, it's fascinating how there's been essentially, I think there's services now who will go and reserve a whole series of restaurants for you. And we're getting completely packed restaurant reservations at this point, and a whole bunch of people just drop them right at the end rather than go, because they got 3 different reservations of different size parties at different restaurants, so that when they find the people to fill those, they just take the one that they want and then drop the others, but it makes it hard to get in. I would love to see you guys do something like the hotel block and start grabbing some of these reservations so that some of us can get an ironclad reservation, because I'll tell you, with all the amazing restaurants in Vegas, it's incredible how 9,500 people seem to book all of them in a place where there's 100,000 people conferences. I don't know what is unique about the insurance industry. Maybe we're really risk adverse and we're like
to eat and drink.
I don't know how that happens, but we got to figure that out. So hopefully everybody, that's my number one tip for new people who have any kind of business development, especially role, go get those reservations early.
I was going to say, make them early. That's important. Also, there is another large conference at the Mandalay Bay the same time that we're there. So that will also impact restaurants and reservations and that sort of thing too.
Pro
Should
tip.
we frame this a little bit from the MGA perspective then? So we're a podcast all about MGAs, and MGAs in technology have never been more connected and interdependent as they are today. What's the attendance look like from an MGA perspective for this year, and what should they be looking out for at your event? And namely, why should they listen to this podcast and go away and sign up and be there?
I don't know. I have not seen the registration, so I can't tell you how many are there. I do know that as part of our Capacity Connect Summit, that's where the MGAs are going to want to be, definitely on Wednesday. That is a full day conference. And we have one of the sessions that starts out is, what are MGAs looking for? What are the rules for this year? How have they changed? That's going to be a great discussion. And the sessions that we have throughout the day will give them that opportunity to ask a wide range of questions. And then the thing that I'm really excited is that at the end of that day, we're doing a live conversation. So it'll be like a Q&A where anybody who's in the room can ask their questions. We already have a panel of experts who are going to be able to field them. And we've set it up so that it's somebody from the funding background. We have someone from an MGA. It's just, and it'll be really fast. The moderator is going to be outstanding, and it'll be a good way to kind of wrap up all of the discussions that they've had in this space throughout the day.
So can I ask who those people are, if you know? I know it's like putting you on the spot. I'm trying to remember one many sessions. I'm just curious.
I can tell you who they are. So wait a minute. It is, wait, here we go. Wait, sorry. All right. So some of the speakers that we have, I have Mike Mansell from American Family Ventures is moderating that session. I have Dante La Rufa who's the head of venture at Aquiline. I have Alex, I'm going to kill his name, Henke from Venture Partners. I have Elena Herrick, who is the Vice President of Underwriting and Product from Munich Re. I have some of the other people that are going to be in the room. I have Isaac Espinoza, who's the CEO of Kettle. I have David McFarland, the CEO of Coterie. I have Justin Levine, who's the CEO of Shepherd. And I have Tanner Hackett from Counterpart. I also have Astrid Malval Bahari from Strat Maven, Omer Rymick from Advance, Joanne Artisani, I'm probably killing all these people's names. She is the CEO of Sprouter, and Chris Bailey from Cover Genius. So it's a wide range of people who are going to be speaking. And that's only a fraction of the people who are speaking in that summit. Like there are probably another 20 people that I didn't even name. Yeah. So there's a lot going on there.
Definitely see if you can go back to Isaac and get him off that list. You do not want him. Terrible speaker.
And you gotta remember, like, half the people you named, we have on our cell phones. So between the three of us, maybe 85%, 90% of those people are in our cell phones, and some of those things people are close friends. So we will. We love a lot of those people.
Right.
But 100% serious. Like if you can get rid of Isaac, just
one takeaway.
We'll throw that in the show notes. Tag him on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Well, it's because he keeps refusing to come on the show. So he's like, I don't want to be embarrassed by you guys. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, I only do it because he doesn't come on.
Just so you're aware, we have what we call a founders forum, and that's going to be Thursday morning from 10:30 to 12:30. It's after our main stage. And I have 4 founders that are going to be speaking, and it'll be it's a 2-hour session where they'll share their stories, what they did. And then again, it's that opportunity to network and ask questions and find out who is really what's going on. So I have Jim Duane from Mission Underwriting, which if you are familiar with their business proposition, is a very interesting way in terms of how they go about funding companies. We have Garrett Cohn from MGT. I have Andre Bourgon, who is the co-founder and the group COO at Ascendix. And I also have Georgette Nicholas, who is the CEO of American Life. And so it's an interesting group of founders and CEOs, but they all have different areas of expertise and can talk about this and answer questions. And you'll notice I have 2 men and 2 women on that. So
yeah. Something else that I love that you do, and maybe like focusing on like new people to the industry, because a lot of startups, right, they're not from the space. A lot are, but a lot are just coming and doing new and interesting things, and they see the ability to do that in insurance. I love the fact that you guys put a lot of emphasis on bringing students in. So I've just seen a number of universities start to pop up with risk management programs, or they're getting more active. I live in Connecticut, so UConn has a great one. I'm from Iowa, so Tippy has their risk management school. I met a bunch of great Appalachian State students at a conference last year. So I feel like I'll meet them during the course of the year, and then I'll see them again at ITC, which I love, and you get all the different schools together. So I love that emphasis, because it's really about thinking about how do we, kind of bring the next generation of people in. Yeah.
I think I saw a statistic somewhere, like just in the claims space, like 30% of the claims adjusters are going to be retiring over like the next 5 years or so. Think about the amount of institutional knowledge that is walking out the door, and AI is not going to be able to capture all of that. So you're right, Doug, having students come in, having young professionals come in, that really is the future of the industry.
Yeah, you're saying that all the claims people are old. I get it. Yeah, you don't have to rub it in, Patty.
Claims boomers.
We are. There are a lot of boomers in this industry, in every facet of it.
Shout out to my good friend Joe Crystal, who is in his 60s and still doing it, and Todd Roth. So my good friends. Yes, you guys, you're getting old. You need to train the next generation. All right, do better. All right, sorry. Personal message to friends. Fundraising opportunities. Back to that really quickly. I remember, I want to say it was probably last year, I saw that you guys had this kind of venture capital speed dating event. Are you going to have that again too? It was just kind of a whole bunch of large, like 10 top tables with a VC at each one, and people could circulate around and meet them.
No, I don't think we're doing that this year. So, or
it's so easy to go on the app and
it is, and set it up.
I mean, I think if you are a startup, my recommendation is, especially if you're an MGA and you're looking for capital, these are the investors that you want to meet. They get the space. They understand the difference between GWP and ARR. So don't lie to these investors like you maybe want to think you can do with the rest of the space. So these guys and gals will do a great job of kind of like testing your business model, and a lot of them are from, again, strategic parts of larger insurers, right, where they are looking for these things. I think of like Nationwide. And a lot of these just have specialty units where they are looking more at the program space. So yeah, go on the app if you're a startup. Every investor, I mean, they're looking for deal flow. They're looking to meet the next thing. So don't be afraid to reach out, grab 15 minutes with them. They will definitely take your time.
We also have a webinar that we do for like first-time attenders. So anybody who's thinking of coming to ITC Vegas and this is your first, I highly recommend that. They will tell you what to expect, things to look out for, just little tips and tricks to kind of keep in mind that will make the day or make the week a little bit easier for you while you're there.
Send us that link. We'll add it to the show notes, and we'll actually promote it as well, because that's a great recommendation, Patty.
Yeah,
because
the shoes are really important. We had We have some new staff on our team, and I say, just make sure you can walk. I said, and I'm not even talking, it really is tennis shoes. Like that's what everybody
lot of
wears,
steps.
because you can easily do 12 to 15 miles back and forth. And, you know, the people who want to meet me, I'm like, okay, I'll probably be a blur as I'm running from one place to the next, but, you know, I will try to make sure that I slow down just a little bit. But yeah, it's.
Are you allowing e-bikes this year throughout the hotel?
I wish.
I'm bringing
that would be
I'm gonna bring my roller skates.
a little
Okay.
segue.
Wait, can HMGA sponsor a rickshaw service inside?
That is
We're going to figure this out. I think that would actually go really well. We could make it a little lane so people don't, you know,
Yeah, they're not allowed to walk in it.
And so we're gonna, of course, we're gonna deal with the risk related to it. We need to reduce risk. So we'll make our own little lane, and and maybe we can find like some kind of autonomous vehicle to do it too.
Yeah. Dylan can handle the claims when they come in.
Yeah, exactly. I retired by then. I'm getting old, so you know.
One of the things that I will say, just as a FYI, for our main stages on Wednesday and Thursday, get there early and allow time to get through security. We have instituted some new protocols there just to make sure that everything is, that it's a good time for everybody, but just make sure you allow an extra maybe 10 minutes or so. If you're, don't walk in right at 8:15, I would definitely come there a little bit early because it'll take some time.
Yeah, I think that's good advice in general. It's a big space, so if you've got a meeting, don't leave it to the last second to try and get over to that meeting.
Yeah.
I have a question. You mentioned obviously a lot of people coming from outside, from internationally to these events. I'm one of them. A lot of people may be going to Vegas for the first time as well. What's the one tip you would suggest that people must do outside of the conference?
I don't know, because I don't get to really see a whole lot.
Fair enough.
Usually I get there and I'm never outside. I've heard Hoover Dam is really great. And actually, oh, you know what? I would go see the fountains outside of, what's
The Bellagio.
Bellagio. Yes, that I would totally do. It's worth it. It's worth just standing there for a few minutes, the way it's all. That's one of my favorite things.
Dylan and Doug.
You mentioned that you actually were having a shark from the Shark Tank, of course, this year. And so Peter, Doug, and I are all looking at this Dig This, which is the heavy machinery playground where you get to use heavy machinery and dig things up. And so that sounds like a fun one. And that is a former Shark Tank pitcher.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're an MGA interested in that, reach out to the show, because that's something we're looking at as a Loro event
maybe we can,
as part of it. So, yeah.
Dylan, you've always tried to get me to do this, and I want to do it. This helicopter gunship thing, right?
That's the helicopter gunship is a lot of fun.
Wow.
Shooting machine guns out of a helicopter it's very American for the people.
That sounds very Vegas.
Yeah.
It's outside the city a ways, just to be clear. You're out in the middle of the desert. It's a lot of fun. You can shoot 50 cals also. It's a lot of fun.
I've known people that have done like the racetrack. That's another popular thing.
There's also
Green Light was a great. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, near that is also a trophy truck place, totally separate company. They do those trophy trucks, the ones that go over dunes and you're flying over giant hills and stuff. I will tell you, if you're tall, it doesn't work well. Between a helmet and how tall I am, I'm hitting the head of my head on the roof. So don't do that if you're tall.
Yeah, racetrack. Oh, Green Light throws a great Top Golf event. So if you get a chance to go over to Top Golf, that's always fun. You want to get your swing on. Yeah, there's plenty to do.
Fun too. I have a friend who did that. I was shocked. She loved it though.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Cool. Well, yeah. So we're all excited. We got the countdown's on, right? We got about 6 weeks, less than I think,
now.
4 weeks maybe. Yeah. So,
and it's going to be even earlier next year, which I don't have those dates in front of me, but yeah, just be aware. Well, and there are a lot of people, because usually Labor Day was kind of after Labor Day, the kids are back in school, and I'm going to start thinking about making my arrangements for ITC Vegas. If you do that this year, you are 3 weeks out, and that's going to be way too close.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So get registered, get on the app, start making your meetings, making your plans, get a strategy in place. Or if you're like Peter the first time, just go and kind of wing it, because that worked out for you, Peter. You just
tends to in life, Doug. I was also hoping that the closing party, which we all love, might be outside this year, given it's earlier in the year. Because previous times we've had some weather concerns and it's been moved inside, hasn't it? So
yes,
fingers crossed.
I don't know the logistics of that either. Sorry.
Patty, you don't know what the weather's going to be on that evening?
You can't predict that. Need some parametric insurance about that.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me for something and I was like, oh, there's only a limit to how much magic I have and things that I can make happen.
But we do you know the band for the final party?
Gin Blossoms.
It's Gin Blossoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
So,
And actually, last year's band was Goo Goo Dolls, right? Was that last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Last year.
Last year.
I'm seeing Goo Goo Dolls in Richmond,
Goo Goo Dolls
Virginia.
was last year. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be seeing them in Richmond with my daughter. Because she was jealous from the ITC, me getting to see them. She wanted to see them, and so they came to Richmond. So she's going in a couple weeks here. So
he was in fantastic shape. Singer.
Yeah, not bad.
Peter, I think it's a good time. We should get Patty's thoughts on legacy.
Yeah, we haven't come up with anything new and exciting for season 3, have we? So we still ask the same questions.
We're only season 2.5 right now. So
yeah. So yeah, Patti, thanks so much for joining us, and I'm sure everyone's going to go away and find out more about ITC and sign up if they haven't. If you haven't, what are you doing? But we'd love to know a little bit of a more personal question for you. Mm-hmm. What do you see as your legacy in the work you're doing or in life in general?
My legacy, it's funny, it has always been in investing in people. I have been a mentor both professionally and personally to men and women, people in the industry. And my goal is to just leave the world a little bit better. I had gone through some difficult issues over the last couple of years, and I had shared that in different places. And that became something that people knew me from more as like a fighter and a survivor. And I want people to see that there's always opportunity, that there's always hope. So that is my legacy, is that what we see today may or may not really matter. It's what we do over time. And I think that's really what matters and helps us leave a very strong legacy. Who we invest in, what we invest in, and what we make our priorities determine that.
Cool. Well, you're part of a great organization, and they're very lucky to have you as well. So, and it's all about building those relationships, which sounds like is a really key component of what you're trying to do personally, right, with your life. So I love all of that. Patti, it was great having you on. We're really excited to promote ITC, and let's try to meet in person in a couple of weeks here. And but if you haven't signed up, the one, we have one listener, Patti, we like to joke, it is my mom. She's not in insurance, but she might come this year. We'll see if we can convince her.
We'll push her that direction.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can get her in claims.
Yeah.
Need new talent.
Good spot for her. Anyway, Patti, thank you so much for coming on. And all the best to, hopefully you're not too busy for the next 4 weeks here, but get a little recuperation time in the fall. But can't wait to meet you.
That'll be great. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's very cool. Guys, I am really excited to see you at ITC. It is always kind of the event where we all three of us always catch up at. So
absolutely,
it's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, Dylan, I got this hat at ITC last year from.
I remember we were playing blackjack in Cosmo.
Were you there with me?
Yes, I was. What? That's offensive.
I don't remember.
Were you there? Yeah, I was right.
I didn't wear an ITC. This blackjack tournament. Tournament.
That's the HCDA. Yeah. And their CEO, what's his name?
Wes.
No, not Wes. The other gentleman, the other founder.
I don't remember.
Oh, it's driving me nuts. Anyway, he was dealing, and we were playing blackjack, and you got some other kind of like headphones or electronics or something like that. You also won there, and you don't remember any of this.
I thought it was Alex with me. Sorry, I don't know.
You know, me and Alex do not sound or look alike at all.
No. Talking merchandise. Talking about merchandise, I want to give a big shout out to my Indem friends, to Kyle, who's been on the show.
Oh, Kyle.
Nice looking shirt.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good old Kyle Gagan.
As we always say, right? If anyone who listens sends us merchandise, we will wear it all the time.
You didn't send me anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a talk with Kyle.
He also mentioned to tell you that there's nothing for you. Yeah.
He's probably like, you're too fat for any of the clothes we have.
We don't have 3X. Sorry.
Yeah. Even this hat. I need to get a haircut. I need to get a haircut.
Oh,
I need
wow.
to lose some weight. But the hat is on the last. With those, these little
Big
things.
head, big brain. Yeah.
So I'm told, but I've never seen it. So I don't know.
You're growing your hair out to Vegas. Nice.
Do you guys have your plane tickets?
For Vegas?
Yeah, you're already.
Oh, for months, yeah. It's not like Charleston for next week. I just got my invite for that, so just haven't managed to do it. But for ITC, yeah, right away, get your hotel. That's the other big tip. Now is a terrible time to tell people that, but for new people, as soon as they open registration, go get that hotel block.
Yeah, and the nice you should do a little pro tip: put everybody at your company as far away from the event as possible, because it cuts down on your healthcare bills.
Yeah, well, Doug had John Salvucci and I walking from the Luxor.
But I stayed there too. I was also.
We always stayed at Excalibur.
Yeah.
Now that's even further. Yeah.
Peter, you're doing a private. You guys have gotten so so popular that you have to be off property, right? You're not.
We're off prem, yeah. We've got
security.
We've got an Airbnb in an undisclosed location, which may become disclosed. Yeah,
we'll drop in the show link.
You get a helicopter there? What's the
probably? I think that's the cost-efficient thing for an early-stage startup.
Well, I know there's a lot of portfolio companies that you're related to that like to use helicopters. So
no comment. No comment.
So Doug, are we doing the party this year? Are we doing the Thursday night party? Is it?
Yeah, I was going to ask about this famous party.
This is supposedly the last year that we're going to do it, right? Ooh, it's like our encore.
I keep hearing that we're going to get kicked out of Mandalay Bay each year, and I don't think it's happened yet. So this is the year.
Well, yes. If anybody would like information on that party, we will give you Peter's Airbnb address.
Yeah, pool party. So that's good.
Cool, guys. This is fun. I missed this all summer. I'm happy to be back with you guys. Should we get some more of these set up? I think so. We do have a very fun guest next week. Great guy. Fun conversation that will be had. Maybe some bones to pick. A few bones to pick. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Wow.
So, guys,
are you going to say who it is?
It's Niles. Niles from Coverwell coming on.
All right.
We have Niles from Coverwell. We have Jeremy. Speaking of AI liability insurance, Peter, I know you're working with Jeremy from Mayflower to get him on. Because we have a whole slate of guests this fall. It's going to be a chock-a-block of MGA founders, investors, capacity providers, you name it. We are going to have these people on. So maybe it's time for you, audience, to like and subscribe.
Something to read that on. Come tell your story.
You like and subscribe.
No idea.
We should get a social
definitely
media.
They can do that on our YouTube channel. They can do that on our Spotify. They can go to Apple Podcasts.
TikTok. On our TikTok.
We're not on TikTok.
We should get on TikTok.
We're good.
I'd like a TikTok account, an Instagram account.
You would be kicked off of TikTok immediately. I'm pretty confident. You would.
I thought TikTok's where you can do whatever you want.
No, that's X. Come on.
X. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's get an X account.
There we go. And then you could be wildly offensive and we get sued, and then the show's over.
No.
Speaking of which,
We
the show's
can do
now
it
over.
we can record from prison, Dylan. By the way, just so everybody knows, you don't, if you get sued, you don't go to prison. Well, I mean, you could, but not because you got sued.
Yeah, it's because they get into
my
court.
legal advice.
Yeah.
My
True, they're
law
not
degree.
they're not mutually exclusive, but
They're not.
related.
Hey, by the way, just a little bit of federal constitutional information. Did you know there's a sliver of land between Wyoming and Idaho where if you commit a crime in that area, it's impossible to have a jury because there's nobody lives in it. It's like a little tiny sliver of federal land because of it. Anyway, I read it last night. It's really interesting, but I guess you guys don't think so.
No, I'm just
Wondering what you're going to do with that information.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm not going to go there with you, Doug, if you're trying to kill me off. I just want to.
Dylan, can you come to this
This
1
isn't
mile
a well
sliver of
planned
land
crime. Yeah.
where, to be clear, it's still a crime. It's just it'd be impossible to be convicted by a jury of your peers because nobody lives in this one little tiny federal
Is
area.
it just like a jury of bears and
That'd be
raccoons?
cool. Yeah,
That'd be fun.
bears, raccoons, squirrels, a couple
Yeah.
of deer, maybe a moose judge. Guys,
Incredible.
On that rather ominous ending, you can tell we're back. So,
And we're starting a
we are
micronation.
back.
We're starting
back.
a micronation. This is big. Right after ITC, we'll be announcing it at ITC. It'll be great.
All right, guys. All right. Well, enjoy your Fridays. I'm gonna go to. I actually am golfing today with a couple of Hartford insurance alums. I can't give their names because they are so famous.
because they don't exist.
All right. I booked a 4-person tee time, just me hanging out, hitting 4 balls.
Well, Doug, maybe you should get on this next meeting with the taxi fare guys from Ireland.
Oh, say hi from
I'm
me. to those.
Ooh, I forgot to get back to them.
Well,
No,
meet in this meeting.
Say,
Just
Doug,
say hi.
Dylan, say hi from me and tell
I
them
will.
that Diego still wants to talk to them more about gambling.
and say apologies
Okay.
for me. I'll meet them sometime. Why don't we have them on the show? Why don't we get them on?
Love
They
to.
definitely
I'll-
Pitch them.
They're great fun. Yeah.
All right.
They
I
will
do
absolutely
like a
join the
couple
show.
of Irish
They're
guys.
great guys.
All right, guys, let's close this down. It's the chit chat's getting annoying. Nobody's
Sounds good. Get out of here.
All right,
Nobody's
Bye.
listening
see you
now.
guys. Bye.
Bye.